Hello everybody, this is Caesar again, More Options Coaching, nice to see you. Today I have a short video about controlling things, controlling life. Somebody asked this question a few days ago. We were in a group and somebody asked this question: how to make sense of those two concepts, controlling things, controlling life, and the concept of let go. You see, because we set goals, we set purposes for ourselves, and we want to control that we achieve those. It just makes sense. At the same time, it's a very popular concept, the concept of letting go, and allow your true self to flourish and be free and express itself. So how to make sense of those two concepts, controlling things and letting go. And one of the first things that really struck me, you see, when somebody asks a question, that somebody presupposes that certain things are true, and starting from those things which he presupposes to be true, he asks a question about some relationship among them and so forth. And one of the things which are inherently true in this particular question is the presupposition that you actually can control things. So that person was asking how to make sense between the concepts of controlling and letting go. So the presupposition is that actually you can control things. And the thing is that you cannot control life. You cannot control the things around you. I know it's sad for some people, but you cannot really control the things around you. You can influence them to a large degree. You are a co-creator of your life. That's for sure. At least co-creator of your life. But you cannot control life entirely, because life is too complex of a phenomenon. There are too many variables that influence life, to a larger or to a lesser degree, but they do influence life, and you cannot control all of them. You're not even aware of all of them. Even more, they influence life to a larger or lesser degree depending on your degree of attention you direct towards that particular variable. And we all know attention is one of the most difficult things to control. I mean, thoughts they have this habit of jumping from one subject to another, more or less randomly. Few people in the world really can master their mind. However, as I mentioned, you can influence things. And that's a great feature that we need to take advantage of. My mentor, James Tripp, has a beautiful video blog about this. You have the link below. I really recommend you take a look at it. It's really useful and eye-opening. And another interesting question that rose in my mind when I heard this comment about controlling and let go is how actually we as humans, we got to the idea that actually we could control things. How did we get to that? In spite of, what reality keeps showing us day in and day out. And I realized that actually what made us nurture this idea that actually we could control things is the fact that we look at the things around us, at how the environment unfolds around us, into a too narrow window of time. Imagine this. You take a rock from the ground and you throw it up. And obviously, since you apply this force on it, for a while it's going to go up. And if you take a look at this particular situation into only a small, narrow window of time, through this window you notice that the rock goes up. And what do we do then? Well, we turn around and say, look, I can control things. Look, I wanted for this rock to go up, and here you go. Sure enough, the rock goes up. And then we go even further. We say, well, that means I can control everything in my life to go the way I want it. So you see how the logic gets a little bit stretched in this particular moment. Because when you zoom out and you look at the larger picture, you notice that, yes, indeed, the rock goes up for a while because you applied that particular force on it, but after a while, the movement stops and goes back again, goes down again. So actually what you thought about being control when you looked into that small narrow window of time, it's not really control after all. So yes, we can force things for a while to go into the direction we want. But if you zoom out and look at the larger picture of life, you notice that actually you cannot really control things. There are too many variables around that you would need to take into consideration in order to be able to control the things. However, remember I said you can influence things. You can influence things, and that's a great feature to have, a great potential to have. Because when you realize that you cannot control things, you can forget about it. So you are free to focus on controlling things that you can control. Like, for instance, setting an intention. And that intention, when you set your intention and put it out and really live in the present moment, live in the now, because now is all you have, and that's the only moment of time when you can make changes, any changes at all. So when you focus on that intention and focus on the things that you can control, then you stop putting obstacles in that intention to manifest. Imagine you have a bird. Imagine you have a bird and you want to, you want for that bird to fly up to the sky. But you want to make sure that that bird will going to really have a good flight up to the sky. So you really take care and you take her wings and you instruct her, do like that. Do this kind of movement with your wings, and you put all kind of devices on the wings to enhance the way the bird is going to use its wings, and so on and so forth. So you can see how actually trying or thinking that you're doing a good thing, you're actually hindering that bird from flying. And that's pretty much what we do when we try to control things. Imagine that bird is your intention, and instead of just allowing that intention to go out and do whatever it's doing best, manifesting in your life. Because when you set that intention and you allow it to mix with the unfolding of life, it will going to come back to you, one form or another. But when you put obstacles on its wings, then it cannot fly the way it was designed to. And it was thought about. So this is actually my thought about controlling. How to make sense of that particular question between the concepts of controlling and letting go? Well, it's simple enough. First of all, you cannot control things, so the first part you can let go of, you can forget about it. And when you forget about controlling things, then letting go comes naturally in our system. So that's how you can make sense of those two concepts, realizing that actually you cannot control things. I'm wondering, what do you think about that? Because I know a lot of people, they have this, especially in the Western society, they have this thing, I want to control things. I am the master of my life, I'm going to control things. Well, you are the master of your life, but not by controlling things, but through understanding how life really works, and understanding that actually life is an unfolding, it's an influencing process. It's not a controlling process. It's not like moving the pieces on a table, on a chess table. It's more like the water. Imagine the reality like the water, like a river flowing in front of you. You cannot really control the drops of the water, but you can influence them on a larger scale. So I'm wondering, what do you think about this thing about not be able to control the things in your life? How does that make you feel, and what's your experience about that? Let me know and let's have a conversation about that. Until then, take good care. Have a great day.